Where you're from is part of who you are. Some of us run from it. Others embrace it, wear it proudly, like a wedding dress or a piece of cherished family jewelry. But when we hear the question, it often conjures a location: green spruce and gravel roads, or broken sidewalks, the raucous sounds of city life. And what about the rest of you? Your parents, role models, your friends. Who you're from might actually be the story worth telling. Because we're not only the place, but the people. They might share DNA, they might not. Those who surround us are involved in shaping who we are. The blood in our veins runs warm with the heartbreak, joy, and love of those before us. You're you because someone, somewhere, wanted you to be. Fought tooth and nail for you. Traveled a distant land for you. Endured conditions so fierce we can only imagine them in stories. Over campfires or family dinner. It all matters. At least to me. Who were these people? So I went looking for answers. And I started where I knew I'd find them. Back at the beginning.
So from what I understand, her parents either went from Tahlequah to Tulsa in a covered wagon. And her mother was pregnant, and her mother started to go into labor. There wasn't a hospital, so there were some Cherokee midwives that actually helped deliver Kia. And the minute she was born, they said, "Oh, Kia, Kia, Kia mama," which means as blue as the sky, because her eyes were so very blue. And they had never seen eyes that blue before, so they thought it was very special. So on her birth certificate, it says Kia mama, and then Lucille, in parentheses, that was her actual name, but for her whole life, she went as Kia. She signed it on all her paintings, CIA.
As I began to dive into the story of Kia, I began to understand more about my mom's relationship to her own parents. Let's just say it was complicated. My mom spent a lot of time as a child playing alone or taking care of her own mother. Kia and her husband Dave had a way of making my mom feel special, and as a kid, that meant a lot.
I started going to Kia and Dave's house, I think when I was 2. I don't even really remember how early it was. All I know is that one day a week, they would pick me up, usually on Thursdays. They would pick me up after school or whatever. I could do anything I wanted. They would always say, "This is your day. You can do anything you want." It was just so nice that, it was just like my day, and so that was just such a neat thing for me to be able to have somebody who would just say, "Our day is completely cleared. What do you want to do?"
I knew we shared a name, but I was curious about who she was. What if it was more than that? While I don't have any memories of her, I hope that maybe we had some similar characteristics. And from the sounds of it, I think if she'd stuck around a little longer, we would have been friends. So I dug into that more. Who was this woman? What was she like?
She was very loving, but she could be strict in some regards. I mean, we could eat like 4 strawberries. I mean, there were rules around me being able to do anything I wanted. She always wanted me to be smart and to try very hard, and to make good grades and to be a good person. She encouraged me to be the best I could be. And the people that she liked were intellectuals. She liked to talk about art and theater and books. She was a voracious reader. She was constantly reading. She also was very interested in taking care of herself. She tried to eat very healthy. Up until she could, even when she could hardly walk, she was still riding her bike for 10 miles a day. She would ride for 2 miles and then get off the bike and rest and then get back on again and do it. During the day, she would just keep riding her bike, which I thought was pretty amazing, for somebody in her 80s to be doing that, and to be that dedicated. She's a very determined person. The word Kia stands for as blue as the sky in Cherokee. And in this family, Kia means determined and dedicated and disciplined. And those 3 things you both very much have in common.
After giving birth to my older brother, my parents tried for a second child. Unfortunately, That one didn't make it. My mom likes to tell me it was me, I just wasn't ready yet. I guess I've always been a late bloomer. But by the time I was born, they were living and working on a sheep farm in New Zealand. As a 30-year-old with little money and a small child, life wasn't exactly easy. I had to know, after all that heartache, what was the motivation for giving me a second shot?
She loved Ren. She loved Ren very much. And she thought it would be great for me to have another. She told me she thought I should have another child. And she thought it would be good for Ren. She thought it would be good for us. She thought it'd be good. She expressed it that it would be nice for Ren to have kind of a partner in crime to like be on his side in a way. And that the children could kind of, band together. And so when we wanted to name you after her, we decided that we did love the name, and we loved the fact that it was carrying on Kia's love through you. But Rick wanted your name to be spelled with a K. We conceived you on Kia's birthday on September the 15th. And because I told her I would give her another baby and I would conceive her on your birthday. And so that's what we did. Pretty amazing it all worked out that way. She thought the leaves were so pretty. She said, I'll just live until the leaves turn colors and then I'll go.
As she grew older, the tables turned and my mom began taking care of Kia until she eventually moved away for college. They would continue to correspond through letters and home videos or audio recordings my mom would make for her. I knew that Kia came to live with my folks and spent her final months in that little farmhouse in upstate New York. What was that time like together?
Well, I just remember her being on the porch and laughing and having fun. Our meals were always fun. She liked everything I made. She never complained. She also, I remember, gave me some money when she lived up there because she wanted me to landscape the front there where she was sitting so she could see how pretty it was. So we would go to Baker's Acres. Shout out Baker's Acres. I would take her there, and she was like a kid in a candy store. I just let her buy whatever she wanted to buy, and then I just put it out. I planted it for her. So she just would pick out all kinds of stuff, and then I would take it home and I'd plant it, and it was very pretty. And that's actually where her ashes are, is just underneath the hemlock tree, right there. Where do the dreams go that don't come true? The dreams that you dream when the moon is blue. Don't let them hide like the setting sun as it steals from view when the light is gone. Let them gleam and glow through the tears and the pain. Let them live and grow, and they'll blossom anew when the dreams in your heart know it's time to come true.